What up, B Squad? It's your boy JB, and we are back, you guys, with a brand new episode review of what is this show that I'm finna do? We are doing Sold on SLC. I had to think about the name of the dang on show. Sold on SLC. This is season number 1, episode 4, I believe it is. The episode is titled "Thou Shalt Confront Thy Sins." This was a good episode, you guys. To me, it was messy as I don't know what, and I was here for it. Now, before we get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, you guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss this episode of Sold on SLC, you guys, shall we? All right, you guys, so if you guys are watching this show, please drop down in the comment section and let me know what you guys think of the show so far. I think it's a great show. Now, I will say, I don't think we'll be on here too long because the episode, it didn't really, let me not say it didn't give a whole lot, because it did give a lot, but it gave a lot about one person that I didn't really care about. So this episode picked up where the last one left off. Now, I know I did not review the last episode, but the last episode ended with Malaysia having a party, right? And at the party, one of Malaysia's friends came up to her to let her know, like, yo, girl, Kenny, your cast member, your co-worker. So one of my cousins, she's a cousin, sister, somebody, family member. She a stripper, right? So Kenny goes down to the strip club, and he told my cousin, sister, whoever this woman is, that whenever the show airs, that he gonna have to stop coming to the strip club. I was like, sir, you should have known that you were gonna have to stop going to the strip club before you got cast on the show, but neither here nor there. Now, I will say, though, that this episode, it had me pissed off because of the way that they kept talking about strippers and all that kind of stuff. And I get that part of this is because of the Mormon culture and everything, but it was very much so judgmental. And I wasn't here for it. Like, I absolutely was not here for it. Because one person in particular gave judgmental. Oh, I didn't review the last, oh no, it was just last week, the last episode before the break. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, I just didn't like how they were talking, right? So Malaysia and her friend were talking, right? So the friend then called said person who is the stripper who works at the strip club, and the cousin sister confirmed it, right? And so we see Matt's wife, Nicole. She told Matt, she don't feel good. She got sick. I was sitting here thinking to myself, I was like, no, maybe she just got sick. Because I was initially thinking, I was like, did she really get sick, or did she overhear that conversation? Because they were talking a little low, but that y'all probably couldn't have been talking that damn low for Chris to overhear. We'll get to it in a minute, right? Because, so she eventually walked outside and got in the car, right? Next thing we know, she done left. I was like, oh, sis heard that conversation. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say two things right now, and then we'll come back to it. But I don't see a problem for anybody to go to a strip club, right? It's for enjoyment purposes, right? I mean, I think most of us, not everybody likes strip clubs. There are people who look their nose down. Let's just be real. There are people who either look their nose down or it's just not their cup of tea, right? It's nothing sometimes it's for people, it's nothing personal against the women or men who strip. They just don't prefer to see that kind of stuff, right? Me personally, I love strippers, right? I love strippers. It's like if I could go to, I could go to a strip club, but the ones in here in Dallas, they kind of far, and I don't really like driving all the way over in that area that they in. But I love strip clubs, right? Love them. There's a strip club here in Dallas that I went to for one of my cousin's birthday. We went to Ecstasy. Had a good time that night. We had so much fun the night at Ecstasy, right? But I like strip clubs. I love seeing titties and ass. Just keeping it real. Like I like to see titties and ass. I'm sorry. So Chris told Sarah he overheard the conversation, right? So then we see Matt. So he told Malaysia about Nicole getting sick and leaving. So then Malaysia pulled Matt to the side to have a conversation with Matt, telling him like, "Yo, I know why your wife left," and so it was like, "Well, why would she leave?" And the reason why your wife left is because she overheard what was said. Now, I do have respect for Malaysia because Malaysia, she wouldn't go all out and say what it was. And I appreciated that, right? I absolutely appreciated the fact that Malaysia wouldn't say what it was. But I'm pretty positive people probably heard that conversation in y'all in a house. It ain't like y'all in a bar where it's a whole hell of a lot of people. I'm pretty sure people heard that conversation, right? So Matt got upset when Malaysia. I'm like, but sir, if it's the truth, you only mad at yourself. Like, you're only mad with thyself. So Matt ended up leaving, right? Saying he's gonna go home and talk to his wife. So Kenny followed out behind Matt, right? And Matt was like, "Do you have your microphone on? Do you have your microphone on?" When he asked me, did he have his microphone? I was like, "Oh, Matt, yes, you sneaky dog, you got something to hide, don't you?" He was like, "I sure do." I said, "I know you do, but you've been coming at Tina, but you got skeletons in your closet." And here's the thing. Again, I ain't judging. I'm not judging him for going to the strip club. That's not I don't have an issue with that. Like, I don't think that people in relationships should have an issue. Like, if it's a man and a woman, or two women, or two men, I don't think that you should have an issue with your spouse going to a strip club. The only reason you should have an issue with your spouse or significant other going to a strip club is this: if it's excessive, where it's costing a lot of money, where they're going multiple times in a week, month, all that kind of stuff. If it's excessive, then yes, say something. But if it's like, every blue moon, I want to go to the strip club, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think there's a lack of intimacy, as Nicole was going to say later in the episode. I don't think any of that stuff. I think it would be healthy for a man and a woman. Like, it's healthy for people to go to the strip clubs together. Like, you could see some. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure, being a Mormon, y'all probably have bland, boring ass sex. Let's just keep it a buck with each other. You can go to the strip club and see some of the acrobatics. Well, never mind. These are probably white women, so my bad, you guys. So the camera cut off. But yeah, these are. I was gonna say, maybe you can go and learn some tips and some tricks from the strippers, but these are white women he's probably seeing. And this ain't, I ain't never been to a white strip club. Nothing against the white women. I don't have no problem with white women, but if I go to a strip club, I'm sorry, it's gonna be a black strip club. I want to see the acrobatics. I want to see the women climbing up the pole, sliding down the pole, doing the P-Valley type of shit, right? That's what I want to see. So yeah, maybe you can't learn nothing from them. Maybe I should go to a black strip club. But neither here nor there. Now Jen, you had me hella confused this entire episode. You had me entirely confused, right? So Sarah is talking to Jen and to Tina about what, Chris had told her about the strippers and sister. She didn't know everything. So Jen feels that this is bullshit and a rumor. And so Jen, it's not a rumor, beloved. It's factual, because the friend called the sister on the phone and she corroborated what was repeated to Malaysia. So, baby girl, this ain't no rumor. And I'm with Tina. I don't feel a lick of shit for Matt. Like, Matt has had his hands in some of everything. We're gonna find out a little later. I don't feel shit for Matt. So we see the next day as Tina and Sarah and Chris, they're talking about it, right? And Tina feels like, she said he put his mangled hands in the, in other pots, right, basically, and I'm paraphrasing. when he had his own shit that he was dealing with that he was basically covering up and not talking about. I agree with it. It's like the age-old saying goes, a hit dog will holler. And this dog is barking, right? So we see Matt and he's talking to Nicole, right? So we find out Matt has been to the strip clubs, right? And Nicole asks him, like, so do I know, have you told me everything? He said there's nothing else for him to hide. So he says he's been going to, this has been an ongoing thing for about the last 10 years, right? He said there'll be times where he'll go sometimes once or twice a month, and then sometimes he just won't even go for a full year. And so the producers asked him, like, well, how much money are you spending on the strippers? And he didn't want to answer that question. I was like, see, that's where the problem comes in. That's where the problem then comes in. For me, it wouldn't be an issue. And I don't understand how y'all taking, like, Sarah, like, y'all are looking at this as if he's cheated on her or there's a lack of intimacy because he wants to see some, I mean, because the man going to a strip club just to see some titties? Like, my God. The Mormon church is a fucking cult. Again, no disrespect to anybody who's in that church, but it's a cult. Y'all want to call Mary Cosby's church a cult. So is the fucking, but y'all know how I feel about organized religion. And it is what it is. So yeah, that was that. But like I said, that's where it becomes a problem when you go so much that you don't want to say how much money you spent in the strip club. That's where the problem comes in, right? So we also saw as Sarah wanted to call Malaysia to check on Malaysia, but Malaysia was with a client, so she didn't answer the phone. So we also find out that the night of the party, Matt texts Malaysia asking her who the fuck she thinks she is. I would have texted that motherfucker back and said, who the fuck you think you texting? You got a lot of motherfucking balls. Like, your bitch ass is the one that's going to the strip clubs behind your wife's back, and you got caught. Don't bring your thin-lipped ass my way talking shit to me. Hell the fuck no. Cut it. It's a wrap. Would have blocked that motherfucker too. And if Jen would have something to say, well, I'd be like, Jen, you read this motherfucking text message where this nigga asked me who the fuck I'm so used to saying nigga. I'm so used to saying nigga with black shows. Malaysia, don't ever say that word. You say, I would have said to Jen, well, no, because I'm going to keep it real, because that would be me. That would be, I probably would say this nigga. I probably would say that, this nigga or this motherfucker. You see what this son of a bitch, this motherfucker, this asshole text me asking me who the fuck I think I am? I'm a bitch that'll go upside your noggin if you don't leave me the fuck alone is what I would say. That's probably what I would have responded to. I'm a bitch that'll go upside your noggin if you don't leave me the fuck alone. Neither here nor there. But then the next day he ended up apologizing to her, and I would have sent him the middle finger emoji back. I would have sent him the middle finger emoji back, like, don't play with me. So then this is where the episode pissed me the hell off. The conversation, Jen didn't piss me off, right? I got where Jen was talking about. Jen isn't being judgmental. She's talking about how the Mormon church operates, right? Like a fucking cult. So then we have Nicole in her interview talking, and she's looking down on sex workers, right? I do not like that, because those sex workers make a lot of money. Let's just keep it real with each other, right? Like, sex work has been around since the beginning of time. So what are y'all, that's why I don't see it for that church. I'm not finna, like, she wishes that they would do something else. They don't have to do shit else, because your husband is too pussy to tell you he likes to see some titties jiggling every blue moon. Again, maybe take your ass to the strip club with him. Ever think about, well, you didn't know about it. You didn't know about it. I would never let a church or a doctrine control my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? I just would never do that. That is not some shit that I would ever do. I am a religious person. Like I said, I used to go to church. I grew up Baptist. Then I switched to Kojic, right? but I never let the preachings dictate how I live my life. There was and that's primarily the reason why I stopped going to church, because what they teach is just like, there are some things that y'all teach that are innately a part of me. I cuss, you know, I cuss. There are a lot of things I cuss. I drink, not anymore, but there are a lot of things that they frown upon, you know, premarital sex, all that kind of stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they frown upon, and I had to say, you know what? It is what it is. I can't be a part of this. Yeah. So after that, where are we going to? So we see Tina. So we see all the people working. So Tina is working with a guy, and they're going to be working on a development that'll keep her paid, right? Here for it. We see Sarah as she's trying to get people, I think, to come to a broker opening. We see Kenny as he's filming something. Malaysia got her kids, and they putting stuff on people's doors. And then after that, we see Tina. So Tina sat down with Jen. Here's another part of the episode that kind of pissed me off. So when Tina and Jen sat down, Jen is defending Matt, right? And when she was defending Matt, she was telling Tina like, oh, you know, I thought that, you know, you and Matt had an argument with each other, right? And I was like, why would you think that? Tina was in a good mood that night. And when it was mentioned about Matt, Tina just was like, you know, he's done this kind of stuff to other people. So basically, turnabout is fair play, right? And so I don't know how you got from, and as open as Tina has been with you, Tina would have told you, yeah, me and Matt didn't have a great conversation. So I felt the way that Jen thought it was her. And Tina was offended. And I was offended as well, right? And then with Jen, like, I like Jen, but I'm not understanding Jen being so defensive about this situation with Matt. And the shit is true. Like, what are you so defensive about? So we later see Sarah and Chris on a double date with Lisa and John. I wasn't listening to that date, so I don't give a damn what Lisa Barlow had to say. So we get to the end of the episode. So we get to a meeting that Jen is having with all the brokers, right? Or what, the agents. This was a meeting just to defend Kenny. Not Kenny. Why do I keep wanting to say Kenny? To defend Matt. I felt where Malaysia was coming from, I felt where Sarah was coming from, and I felt where Tina was coming from. Especially, I felt where Sarah was coming from. I definitely get, y'all know how I felt about Tina. Y'all know I like Tina, that's my girl, right? I felt Tina, but I really felt Sarah, because they're talking about personal issues and how they should, you know, the bylaws, but they should go by, right? But then, and you're doing this all in defense of Matt. But Malaysia didn't bring this to the group. This was brought to Malaysia. Nicole overheard. Chris overheard. Malaysia never told Matt what she knew, but he knew what she knew. That's why he got so defensive when he walked out. He knew what it was. So then with Sarah, he sat down with what I guess Chris's ex-wife and done called Sarah a homewrecker and a gold digger. Y'all better than me. Cause he would have lumps all upside his noggin. Hell no. I don't fuck with that. I don't rock with that. That ain't cool. Yeah, Jen, this sit down, I would have told you to kiss the blackest part of my ass in that particular moment. I would have said, you know what, Jen? I know you my boss and I respect you, but this sit down is a bunch of bullshit, and I'm just not gonna sit here and entertain it, because you're defending Matt, and he said and done things to other people. So if you want to have that same energy for us with him, have that same energy for him with everybody else. So I would have told her to kiss my ass. I definitely would have told her to kiss the blackest and narrowest part of my ass, because that would have pissed me off. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments section below, you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.